store, right? Like our parents probably, or your guys' parents, will probably talk to people that like they've never met before.
Yeah.
Like they'll be like nice or friendly to them, and that's like a connection. Because the next time you see, even if they don't like talk to them or get any contact info, next time you see that person, they had a good experience with you. That's rapport. And so like, like my parents might be like yelling at me, or like my brother, right, for like something minor, right? But they can portray like that, what do you call it? Like that nice persona to people outside.
That's interesting.
And then make connections.
Yeah,
like
whenever I
that.
go to like fitness nights, I always like try to meet at least one new person, right? Like that way, I've made so many like connections at that.
Yeah,
place,
over
like,
time.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what's crazy? It's like these connections can actually be like, even in times where you don't even know, they're gonna be so useful. Like,
exactly.
There's some guy I met like in some like random summer camp or something, and like he like sent me some like, oh no, some guy in DeepHigh summer the PE thing, who like sent me like some connection for like the robotics club. I'm like, I don't even know you, but like he turned out to be like the president of the robotics club and something. It's like there's always like whenever you like keep on talking to people, you can always like find stuff. But I feel like that's also something I want to work on as well, like talking to more people.
Well, you can't. That's a good idea, but like you have to be smart with who you make connections with and how you make connections. That's the main part, because being an extrovert, yeah, but like if you're like a very goofy kind of extrovert, like like and this person is like really like professional or formal.
You might just be annoying if you're like that, like goofy.
Yeah, and like you just might like show like a horrible first impression. So I think the first thing that you should do is analyze their type of like their personality and their behavior. So if this person is shy, this person is firm, you want to give the same attitude back.
Yeah.
But you don't want to like. What I mean by attitude is I don't mean it in a negative connotation. I just mean it in the same behavior that they're giving. You want to match their vibe, as people say.
Yeah, so it's like, let's say you're really closed off. Like, just as an example, you're not, but
yeah.
Let's say you're closed off. I wouldn't be like, oh, like goofy and like hyper, you know. I'd be like a little bit more calm. I'd be a little bit, but if you're a bit more outgoing, I would like have to raise. It's like you raise your, because like, if I'm hanging out with you versus I'm hanging with you versus I'm hanging with you, like I'm always like, I'm different. Like if I'm talking to you, I talk about different things. I talk about him, talk about different things. I talk about Audie, I talk about like knives. It's like it's different. Always about like different, you know, it's playing a character.
Yeah,
it's pretty interesting.
It is playing character, but you can also stay true to yourself. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, like Joe Rogan's method of how he does it, how he talks to so many different people, is he'll like, so if they start talking about something that he does not care about at all, he'll say, okay, and then try to relate that back to something he cares about so that they can keep the conversation flowing as to where like they actually can talk about things they both enjoy. Mm-hmm. Like there's this one clip where Rob Lowe is trying to talk about like some baseball stadium or whatever, and the noises they make, and eventually Joe Rogan like shifts that over to car noises, and they talk about cars, which they both really like, and so that's like a good way of like moving conversations, and that's why so many people will say Joe Rogan's the best like podcaster. He's like, because so many people feel comfortable on his show talking, so he has so many connections in like any industry because people like him purely off being on his podcast, which you can't really say for other podcasts like Nelk or anything else, because they can't really talk to their guests the same way a guy like Joe Rogan does.
I think the main thing is that you need articulacy and you need eye contact and you need eye contact. Sorry, I was not doing eye contact. Well, you need eye contact, you need articulacy, and you need hand motions, because then they actually understand that you're open to like talking. Because it's actually like scientifically proven. If you have like crossed arms like this, you're not open to a conversation.
It looks like you're not receptive.
Yeah,
to.
And it's like if you have your feet like together, it's like not you're like also like
timid.
Yeah, timid. But if you have like an open stance, if you're moving your arms all over the place, it shows that like you're open for like this conversation and that you can actually talk. And that's what's needed to make connections, because that's people understand that you're a good person to talk to. You know what you're talking about, and it gives them a good impression of you. Therefore, you can move on with what you want to do. Because
just adding on, sorry to cut you off, but like adding on to what you said, like about body language, it's like you have to play body language to how you do it. Like if I start talking like really like loud and like using hand motions, it doesn't fit my like style of talking. Yeah. Or if I'm like a little like I would not sit like this. Versus some people would sit like this, right? Like, have you seen like Putin's like body language when he's
his walk.
Yeah, his walk, his body language. Like, apparently when he's not like, when he wants to show he's not interested, he just like leans back in his chair. Or he like, you have to play it in a way like I feel like you develop that over time though. It's like Trump has certain body language. Like when he gives you a handshake, he like pulls you in a little bit.
It comes with like confidence. Right?
Yeah.
He also taps you on your shoulder.
Yeah, he taps on
he
your
grabs you and he taps you on your left shoulder. That's
so
what
it's
he
like
did.
certain body. What do you guys think the most important body language is to display, to be more receptive to people, that people want to come up to you? What do you guys think?
I think not looking away from them, that's one big thing. Because that's the first thing. If you're making eye contact, or like at least stay looking in the conversation, right? Because if someone's looking around, you're gonna be like, am I boring them? Or do they have something else to do? Am I keeping them here? Firstly, doing that, and then secondly, like obviously don't move your hands around all the time. Sorry, but don't move your hands around all the time and go like this and like that. Like don't do that. But you want to at least like be active. You want to be like somebody else wants to talk to. Because there are people like I know, right? And I'll like they might be nice people, but I just don't want to talk to them because they're boring.
Yeah. And that also like specifically relating to making connections is body language and just being an open person. That can help, but the key thing I think to making connections
you need to make yourself likable.
Literally just put yourself out there, right? A lot of people just don't go out. They don't go outside the house. Go to stores, like when you go to the store, when you go to the gym, when you go like do this, plan something here, make an effort to actually talk to people, right? So I have actually an anecdote. So I went to Guitar Center and my dad came with me in order to talk to the manager about something. Mm-hmm. And while they were waiting for something, he was just talking to them. Oh, my son is interested in biotechnology. He wants to go into this career. And the person that he was talking to actually said, hey, I know someone who is working at a biotechnology company. I can give you their contact info and they can talk to your son and maybe give him an internship, help him with stuff. So I was talking to her and she said she can help me create a resume and get an internship, right? So just literally putting yourself out there and talking to people and being open about your life can help can help yourself find other people who are like-minded and create those connections that you actually need, right? Body language is one thing and actually going outside is another thing, right? So you need to have both in order to actually make meaningful connections that will benefit you.
You also need to be able to write. Like nowadays, in 2023, the internet is like what we live on. So you need to have like a good portfolio online so that people can like see what you're doing and see like what kind of person you are. And that's what helps you get jobs. That's what helps you do a lot of these things. So you need to be able to write and do a lot of stuff on the internet too.
But I feel like also what plays into that is you can have a lot of stuff on your whatever your online stuff. But when people meet you in person, you have to have a certain stature to yourself. You know, like you can have like I went to blank 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 and then see you and then you're like it doesn't make sense. Who's gonna hire you? Like, let's say you want to go to Google, okay? You go, I went to MIT, I went to Stanford, I went to and then you go there and you're like shy and you're like this. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, you have to have. I think you also need to develop yourself physically, mentally, and then also academically. Because if you have that well-roundedness, then you know.
You gotta be confident.
Yeah, like I said earlier, you need to be likable too. Like, that's a big thing.
I got a good question for y'all.
Yeah.
Street smart or book smart?
You need both. Like it's the world's not black and white, right?
Which one do you think is more important?
Well, let's think about it like this. So like, would having only book smart to be better, or would having only street smart be better? Like street smart.
You know what's actually like the thing about street book smart, right? Is there's dumb billionaires. Or okay, there's dumb millionaires.
Yeah, dumb millionaire.
But there's no dumb like Victorian, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like you can be rich, but being kind of stupid if you can put yourself out there. Like look at a lot of these celebrities, right? They're like doing like bad things, and they're not really intelligent people, but they know how to put themselves out there. So if you know how to put yourself out there and you know how to make connections, I feel like I think that's actually more valuable than necessarily like getting a 500.
You can ultimately get farther with street smarts than book smarts. Like if you were only pick one,
I mean, in an outside of school scenario, you don't need to know a lot of the things that they're teaching you. Like, I don't think I need to know what like the very like deep basics on like how to, on like math or like conic equations or polar graphs or anything like that. But But like in an actual conversation, let's say I'm trying to get somewhere, let's say I'm trying to persuade someone into doing something for me. Chances are I'm not gonna win them over with my knowledge of cognitive equations and how like limicons are when the heart shape is formed in a graph. Like I don't need to know that to talk to people.
But do you guys, when would it be an application where book smart come into play?
If you're trying to be like
Book smarts. Sorry to cut you off. Book smarts come into play when it's specific to the field you're going into, right? You can have book smarts and be a millionaire because you need to know a lot about business, about finance to be an investor, right? That's what I consider also to be book smarts, right? Because you're very in technically about the stock market, about pretty much everything there is to do with finance. You need to have book smarts to be good in that too. And that you can't become a millionaire with that alone, obviously, because you need to be able to make connections. You need to be able to read people. You need to know when someone is going to help you, when someone is going to hurt you. You need to know all those things. But if it's if you have book smarts specific to the field you want to go into, then it's an unbreakable combo.
So do you think you could be a rich loser?
Wait, define what like by rich loser. What do you mean?
I mean,
you're a rich
if you're
person,
rich, but like
who has nothing else in check. They're just really rich.
Would being rich by family count? As like
yeah, okay, like you inherit.
I feel like I kind of feel kind of bad for saying this, but like you know that the richest dude in India,
Ambani.
Yeah, like he feels bad about himself. It's like he's overweight, right? Are we talking about the same person?
I mean, he could. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But he worked for it. He did work for it.
Also,
the thing is about money though. It's like
no, like.
He has like he's a billionaire, right? And money's a billionaire.
Also, I
He
think
can hire Sharu. He can hire the top fitness trainer, but I don't know. I don't understand these people.
I think it's
exactly like he's saying. He like I heard. My mom apparently knows that he feels bad about how fat he is.
I mean, everyone's gonna feel.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
You have to be.
But I mean, like, we feel bad that we're not a billionaire. So it's like, is it,
What
what's
are you
the?
talking about?
Oh, I mean, like, you guys feel bad. I don't feel bad.
I mean, okay, as a millionaire, as someone who has money, right? You can ideally you can pay to get that like fat chopped off you if you really wanted to.
You can get surgery and all.
You can get surgery. You can get like you can go through like you can get like let's say you're like 900 pounds, right? You can if you're rich, you can first get the surgery to get rid of the 900 pounds so you can move around now. Then you can exercise, move down to 400, 300 pounds. Then or 200 if you want to be like a bodybuilder or something, right? Then you can get rid of the loose skin, and now you're like in shape. He can do that if you wanted to.
Money gets you to like it brings you to a new world of like opportunity. Like it brings you like the top doctors, top everything. Like it broadens your horizons so much than like if you were poor. So I feel like if you're rich and you're a loser, just get better. Just do more stuff.
I mean,
you have the money.
Are they gonna be a loser if they're rich?
I mean,
I mean, necessarily in like in other aspects.
I mean, even if you are rich, like it'll still attract women.
Hey.
And, like they might not like you.
Okay.
Physically,
I mean, you
No
have
they like your
connections.
money.
They have no connections, no friends.
no physical presence.
Yeah, no good body, no drive.
No, they don't know how to dress well.
Oh, they're wasting their money too.
They're spending their
Just
money.
a straight up loser, like.
And that's being.
But he has a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's all. But isn't that just a loser in a different position? It's like
exactly.
It's like if you threw threw that buddy of mine I mentioned into a spot like sorry buddy.
No,
if you threw that buddy of mine into a spot like that, he'd be doing the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it's just a loser in a setting where they're gonna like they fall down even harder, right? Once they've wasted all their money.
Yeah.
And now they're like doing like drugs.
So do you think it's
actually like building off of that what piece? Sorry, Rishi. Building off of what you said. Like I heard this quote from someone who said that like money only amplifies who you really are.
But I feel like you could also develop that after you become rich, no?
You could, yeah, of course. Well, like if you just like stay that way, like of course, then you'll just.
What do you guys believe are the? I have a question. For all of you guys.
Yeah.
What do you guys believe are the things that make you a loser? Not just like being overweight. Like, what are the habits that specifically
I
lead
think
to?
being a loser is mental. Mental.
I got that, but like I mean, what are the habits that like the day-to-day things that a loser does?
It's the same habits that are keeping you poor, right?
Okay.
Like what do
Lack
you do
of
when you wake up?
discipline.
Like what do you I need something more not less general, like more specific. What are like things that an average guy would do which slowly turn him into a loser?
What?
Watching like adult videos, adult content like that stuff.
I mean, okay, well that it's about what they think is a loser, honestly.
Really different.
I mean, yeah, if you watch like adult videos and you're like,
You can do that, but you won't categorize yourself as a loser.
I mean,
Yeah, but, like-
if he's rich, hella buff, he got his goals straight, he's on the grind, but he watches an adult video. Would he be a loser?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Like if there's someone who's like
no, like Terry
who's
Crews.
super rich and in good shape and
Terry
eats a donut,
Crews.
like is he? You know?
No, he's not losing. Then like,
Yeah,
If
exactly.
you're
You can, like,
super
keep
rich
yourself
and in
up
good
with
shape, you're
Okay.
practically allowed to do anything. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
I'm gonna,
It's
I'm
like
gonna phrase something in a different way so that it doesn't sound like one of the phobics, you know. So a person who is out of shape, but who can do something about it. So if you're like obese, and it's a serious like medical condition and you cannot do anything about it, that is excusable. If you are out of shape for like just for sitting around doing nothing all day, then you are definitely a loser.
I mean, I feel like even if you're like obese and like you can't get it fixed, but like unless it's like that serious, then like you can. There's always a way, right? There's always a way to like.
I mean, you
lose
see
that
like
weight.
600 pounds. people
Exactly,
that-
yeah.
So you could definitely fix it unless it's a medical condition. Honestly.
It's a
Like
mindset.
if you're like really low metabolism, like then it might be excusable. But like there's always a way to do it. No matter how long it takes, you'll still reach the finish line.
Yeah, I think it is a mindset thing. Now that I've heard what you guys are saying, because a lot of times it just boils down to like how they like you can do bad habits, but if you're making it somewhere in life, those bad habits aren't really affecting you. But if you're not making it anywhere in life, the bad habits just keep dragging you down further.
But then I ask, how would you be a person with doing all of these bad habits and somehow work your way to become rich, right? Because like we talked about, like taking it back to the very beginning of the episode, discipline is relating to every aspect of your life, right? Money making, bodybuilding, like mentally hardening yourself, right? Every aspect of your life is improved by having discipline. So how can one person somehow become rich and not have everything else in his life in order, because he would have to have the discipline to do that, right?
Well then, so you said success. Well, and success is bodybuilding, being rich, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Then he didn't achieve success then, because he only just achieved being rich, but he didn't. He's not successful. He just got rich. He didn't achieve everything else under the category of success, right?
Yeah, I saw this thing. It's like no one cares about a millionaire who's out of shape and has problems, and no one cares about a gym bro that is broke. So it's like
Yeah, you gotta have the
you
combo.
have to have everything.
I think that's. Actually, don't
See,
know.
like-
I'm trying to remember who that was.
No, it was who it is.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Y'all already know.
Okay, so but like a lot of people, they like forget about like their success. The success that we're talking about is bodybuilding, getting all your goals straight, being like a person with a straight mind. They forget all of that when they become successful. When they it's not a one-stop destination, you know.
it's a lifetime journey for
Mastery.
in all areas of your life.
Yeah, exactly. So you need to implement those things, and like you cannot forget about like being morally straight when you become successful. An example of this is I would say Joe Biden. Joe Biden, he became rich now. He's president and stuff. Now he eats ice cream all day. Versus Donald Trump, he's rich, but he actually has the motive to make America great again.
Like you guys, like you.
Okay, cut this part out.
No,
Yeah,
no.
cut this part out.
Like, you guys see like RFK like lifting weights and stuff.
See,
Or,
Robert no.
Robert F.
Kennedy.
Kennedy.
No, but here's the thing.
Oh.
That's also another point that I
Yeah.
have. Since America is becoming a Democrat and a liberal country, people have started oppressing political views. Now it's like embarrassing to say that you're a Republican and a conservative.
Exactly, because they defend it so much. Like these people.
Like it's as if like there's supposed to be two sides that people are supposed to be on, but now like they painted it as like the red side is the bad side. Like that's the right. That's like far right.
Everyone,
Okay,
stop.
okay,
Hey,
okay, listen, everyone. everyone is saying that because like in 2023, back in 2016, everyone was saying, okay, we have the Republican Party and we have the Democrat Party, and nothing was like that controversial about it. It was controversial, but it wasn't like to the point where everyone was like, no, Republican is wrong. But now everyone is just saying Democrats are right and Republicans are wrong. For what reasons? Because they associate it with being racism, with being racist, with being sexist, with supporting oppressiveness. And this is completely not true, and people are just suppressing these ideologies, and it's just pure hypocrisy because liberals and these Democrats are talking about, oh, I'm oppressed. But no, you're oppressing us now. You're oppressing our political views.
Okay, I think we should go back to the original thing.
Let me make a statement really quick before we move on. You are saying something that is true, but I also think you're blowing it out of proportion a little. I think most of the time it's not a one-sided issue. I think a lot of times it's coming from both sides. I agree though that it's kind of hard to be.
So you have right and left extremists, you know. I'm not an extremist. I'm a logical person.
Okay, so basically, you see people. Let's say they have a mental condition, right? Or they believe they have a mental condition.
Right.
You think believing in something gives it power? Because I feel like
Definitely does. Have you heard of the placebo effect?
yes, placebo effect.
That's exactly what you're talking about, right? There's been tons of times where they give people pills that do nothing.
Yeah.
Tell them it'll cure the specific disease they have,
And it
gets cured.
Yeah.
Right? It like having the mental power to believe in something and to believe you can do something will give you the ability to do that thing. Obviously, not taking it to absurd lengths like, oh, I can jump 100 feet now. You won't be able to do that. But things that are achievable, right? If you believe that you can be a successful person who can run a successful business, who can achieve everything you want in life, then you'll be able to do it because your mind is stronger than you think, right? So this leads me to another thing. Do you guys believe in the power of like manifestation?
Yeah.
Like where if you set your wallpaper as like the college you want to go to, and then it'll subconsciously trick you into like actually working toward it. Do you believe in that? It's manifestation.
I don't think it's manifestation. I think it's pure like you see what you want every day. You can't ignore your goals from there because a lot of people will say like I want to go to some college or I want to do something, but if they're not being consistently reminded about it, why would they do it? Because like you don't have to think about what you have to do.
It's when it's in your subconsciousness, it goes in your daily life.
And it transmits to the physical reality.
Yeah, exactly what he said actually.
Yeah.
So
because,
that's what we
sorry. But I don't think you can be necessarily rich in the physical world without being rich in your mind. But I feel like if you're rich in your mind, you already believe like you have it. Like I might like screensaver said like me like a Lambo, right? It's like if my mind already believes that I have it, then it's like it's already done. Like it's already in my mind. So it's like all I'm waiting for is like the plan to action, boom, complete it, and it'll be mine in the physical world. So I feel like if you have something in your mind and you know you believe it with your full heart that it is true, then it will happen in real life. And also, like this is like when people are like, oh, I'm sad. They say that over and over again. It's like see what happens to them, right? Like they become what they say they are. I'm depressed. They become depressed. They literally are a depressed person.
They start listening to like the sad music and like
exactly.
making it their percent.
And then you say something like, bro, just be happy. And they're like, you understand, bro. It's really
understand,
hard.
it's
like, no, you're defending the fact that you're sad. Like, you want to do the opposite, right?
It's weird, right? Because you also, like, they don't want to be sad, or maybe they want to be sad all the time to feel important, but, like, who wants to be sad, right?
No one.
It's like they start explaining to you, like, the science of, like, how depression is actually based off hormone imbalances in the brain. Like,
there's no, like, medicine for depression.
It's not even a real thing.
No,
they made it up.
No, they didn't make it. Calm down. There is a medical reason for it, but I also just think it's kind of a dumb reason for it. The hormone imbalances are just coming from you not wanting to like think straight. Like
you don't necessarily need medicine for something.
It's also like if you go back to the 1800s or something, all these diseases like ADHD, OCD, they didn't exist because back then they didn't
even think about it.
And it's like if you now in 2023, we didn't have the problems that they had in 1800s and stuff. So if you don't have problems, people start creating problems, and that was the origin of like all these diseases.
We don't have any big problems anymore. Like I'm not saying we should have more, but like
we need to create one.
Without these big problems, like we're creating all these little tiny ones. Like what?
No, because
I'm not gonna name them, but they
Yeah, the
Everyone's-
COVID thing. Anyways.
Yeah.
everyone was stuck at home for a
Yeah.
year, and then after that, most people like stay at home most of the time now.
Yeah.
Unless, or at least our age, unless it's school or unless they're playing a sport.
Yeah.
And even then, that ends by summer, right?
You know what's crazy? I remember before like the world shut down. That thing.
Yeah.
I think almost every single day, like I was biking,
Mhm.
or I was like out with like friends, or I was like we were always at the park every single day, like
Yeah.
doing like flips and
I
stuff. Like,
didn't.
and then after that, we just like stay at home. Like now, I just like stay at home probably like 90% of the time.
It's weird, right? Because I didn't like experience like I didn't go to like the park with my friends as much as you guys probably did, right?
Yeah.
But like I like over summers, right? I'd consistently be like outside biking, or like I'd always want to go with my parents to like places like Walmart even.
Yeah.
But like after that, now I'm like at home and I'm like not. It's also schoolwork, right? And I'm like taking summer classes and things like that. So there's
Yeah.
more things for me to do. But it's also like, it's like I could stay at home and like sleep earlier or like relax, right? Or I could like use the last hour of the day to like go bike or something like that. And a lot of the like up till recently, right? I've found it like I'll just end up staying at home and not going outside. It would, like summer like used to be my one time to bike, and now I barely
Yeah.
bike.
It's crazy.
Especially because I have like a nice bike now too. I can like go do stuff.
Actually, I like biking better. I like biking to the gym better than like having my friends drop me off there for some reason. It's just like it's more like I feel more alive that way.
Yeah, you're gonna keep saying that on leg day, totally.
Isn't this?
Did you see that? Oh yeah.
Look at this.
On leg day, bro. It's so cool.
2005, it wasn't that often, but as you can see, right when it hit 2020, COVID era, all
Everything
these,
started peaking.
yeah, everyone started peaking. Like, how did everyone like start getting ADHD all of a sudden, huh? That kind of
Might be the vaccine. Anyways.
Anyway, okay, guys, thank you for watching our first video today. We hope you liked it, and stay tuned for more very, very bizarre videos.
Make sure to follow us on all channels. YouTube,
Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube,
everything.
everything. We'll be on Reddit too or whatever. Okay, thank you for watching.
Yes.
Thank you for watching, guys.
We'll see you soon.